Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. This is London. Let's go through a quick live stream on Bitcoin. We're going to go through the details. We had quite a pour down today. Let's go through the essentials. I'm a former financial professional. Guys, this is not financial advice, okay? I don't think you could have financial advice on Bitcoin because it's not a security. But irrespective of that, if you guys would like financial advice, please go seek that from your financial advisor, etc. Now, I wanted to come live. I was a little bit tired today, just kind of the week. I appreciate that like. Thank you for hitting that. I hope you guys are doing well. I have some cool stuff to talk about on the charts. We have some cool stuff. I didn't want to stream. Honestly, I was just a little tired. I was like, come on, we got to get going with this. We got to hit this market, huh? So no time for the weak or the weary. So that's not going to be me. Sorry about that. Could have had a night off. We're going to stream. We're VIP guys. We got to stream. Want to talk about this specific move that's happening right now. We had discussed, as I looked back at this, two things really jumped out at me, guys. And we had discussed them as I was, and it was interesting because there were a few times when I said, and you guys know this, and shout out, guys, just really excited to have you here. Would love to have you guys comment, just shout out, say, hey, what's up in the comment section. Would love that. In terms of the negative price action, guys, it's just opportunity for value. The first thing when I tell someone, oh, Bitcoin's down, like, oh, it's time to buy. That is the market around me. Those are the people around me, honestly, all the time. It's just nice to have that. Nice to have you guys in the audience as well. As we would talk about just members, subscribers, guys, you're what it's all about. Now, we have something cool. I want to talk about something really cool in the charts. You guys, no one's looking at this. I know that no one's looking at this, so just pay attention real quickly if you can, okay? There's a few different things going on with Bitcoin right now. One, we had, if you will retrace, and I just, when I had this red line up here, okay, this red line, the prior support, okay, that prior support coming from, and currently, guys, we're up 0.44% to 40,695, okay, 40,000. We'll take it. Not bad. In terms of the support, you guys know that red line has been real crucial, right? Been a real critical area. Now, how did we get up to that line? Okay, first of all, we're beyond support. Okay, we're underneath support. Essentially, that zone has operated as a rejection thus far. But what else is going on? As I was talking, because you guys know a few different times, and I'm not like this. I'm not always like, well, you guys know we started 2022 based upon our lower side target of 33,700. You could take your principal out. You could go ahead and just take your principal and you guys know how many times I said that, right? You could go ahead and just let your profits ride. You could this and that. And as I looked back today, I'm like, I looked at a few different things here on the charts and I'm like, that's probably why I was saying it, because we had reviewed a few potentially kind of devastating moves to the downside. You guys remember this in the back, etc. VIP. I know Luke right now is like, you betcha, huh? We have had so many of these. Let's just talk about this. And we were looking for that bull flag, guys, and the bull flag poured out. It was unfortunate. We'll go through that. Essentially, that 1, 2, 3 is that 58,000. Is it gone? Well, we'll talk about it a little bit tonight, okay? But as we have talked about, as we've gone through the details, essentially, guys, in the back, we trade a lot. We go through a lot of patterns. If you're new to the channel or you're just subscribing or you're a base camper, we want you to upgrade to VIP. We really spend a lot of time on the charts. We look at these patterns and I don't think anyone else spends as much time with Bitcoin. I really don't. Shout out to Angel on top, #1 contributor. Angel, hope you're doing well. Haven't heard from you in a few hours, I guess. I like to talk to Angel a lot, so we have a great time talking. He's like a brother, and just hope you're having a great week, kind of concluding here to your week. We're rolling into the weekend, big guy. I can't wait. So as looking at this is the important thing. Let's go through two things that I think you guys, and I really wanted to stream. I'm like, I have to stream because I want to make sure all of you have this on your charts. Okay, right now I want you to reincorporate this into your charts. Okay, in terms of the pour down, we can go through the exact essentials. I think I cut I know I talk fast, guys, when I cut those quick videos. It's the only way I can get that information out, believe it or not. Otherwise, it takes like 20 minutes to get through a video. No one's going to listen to a 20-minute video. It's not a live stream, so I have to get that information out. Sorry for talking so quickly on those videos. God, it's annoying. I'm sorry. So as we talk about it, it's part of the routine. I listen back to it. I'm like, how did you just do that, London? I have no idea. Anyway, so as we would talk about this ascending triangle, What's a key feature? Number one, let's go through two things. Let's go through two things today. We were walking our way up yesterday, and yeah, that just a kind of gut reaction. Yeah, maybe it's a good time, you guys, if you want to. And you know, I never want to tell people when to sell. Most of the time, because they will not listen. Do you guys understand that? Most of the time because they will not listen. So if I'm saying something in passing, please note this. Jot a little note to self. If London is kind of mentioning maybe you want to take some profits or otherwise, I'm saying it to the crowd that won't listen. When I tell them to book a trade and to sell and keep some profit, they won't listen. So when I'm saying that, most of the time that is me just like screaming from the rafters, hey guys, just note to self. Put a little scribble down there next to the trade station, okay? In terms of this resistance, ascending line of support, we got some bulls that are untamable. That's just it. They're completely untamable in that regard. No, it's no cheap shot for me to say they won't say. No, it is just what it is, okay? And there's a lot of benefits to being an untamable bull, et cetera. Just absolutely bound and determined to get that price up. That's part of being a bull, so no problem. In terms of this resistance, ascending line of support, what is that, guys? Ascending triangle. Now, whether or not we get back to this line of resistance here, okay, whether or not we get back to this line of resistance here, we have seen so many of these play out, guys. We have seen so many of them play out to where, and you guys know where I'm headed with this, to where we literally come back to prior resistance to test support. I mean, it is nearly automatic. I'm not going to say it's automatic. I'm not going to give it even an 85 to 95%. But if you guys trade, you see this so frequently. First of all, it's incredible that we achieved the target to the upside. Absolutely beautiful for Bitcoin. Beautiful move to the upside. Nice completion of the target. All right, we are, you know, in terms of resetting the mark a bit, absolutely to the upside. Boom, to the upside. Beautiful move. So that is cataloged right now in terms of the price action, in terms of the mood of the market and the strength of the market. We are cataloging that strongly. We're also very, very astutely aware, and I'm telling you, when I do discuss that return to the prior resistance to confirm it as support, I always do so within the context. I'm going to say this, depending upon who I talk to, I will qualify it a bit depending upon how much time I have to them. If it's VIP in the back, or if I'm cutting a special video for the restricted zone, I'll say, and we will see it do whatever it will do up and above. We can get lost in the price action a bit as it dances around, tries to formulate something else bullish, etc. And it just inevitably it will want to come back down to that prior resistance. And you guys have been on that journey with Bitcoin. It will do it to you just time and time again. So we're going to catalog this as another return. And now we're not down exactly to prior resistance, but we are nearly within range. I mean, it's close enough that we're within range, and I know it has the traders right now literally just stacked at prior resistance. And this is just, it is a, you know, it's an approach, it's a strategy in terms of, and I said this earlier on to Angel, and I'm not sure if I shared it with VIP, but show me a prior resistance and I'll show you orders trying to confirm it as support. It just is the function of the market. Show me a prior resistance, I'll show you orders in the market, okay, trying to confirm the prior resistance as support, period. Whether or not they get picked up, all right, maybe they do, maybe they don't. So it's not a guaranteed, you know, lockdown, let's say, you know, steadfast guaranteed rule. However, we see this so many times. If I can impress this upon you in your trade game, pay attention to an ascending triangle. Log it wherever your notebook is, whatever you have in terms of your trade game, throw it on the wall. Honestly, keep it in front of your face because we literally see this so frequently. Now, we had this fan formation after that flag failure. We were hoping to pick up, and I have one more key feature. This would be key feature number one. Key feature number two is kind of cool. Okay, it's just kind of a cool expression of the price action. I found this tonight, and I was like, this is nice. This is a nice component. The number one is, and I had to bring this to you guys. I'm like, if I know this, I don't share it. There's no good that will come of it, right? We can develop as traders. We have to be the number one 2022. All right, so we can. We got to bruise up this market a little bit. I'm going to tell you guys, a lot of people hitting a lot of targets, a lot of big hands, stepping in at our lower target range. Bam, still in good money. Maybe took around the red line. Some people in that zone, taking around that red line. Pushing towards higher prices, the 1-2-3 punch to the upside, 58,000 would be beautiful. We still have the potential for a macro bull flag. I'll go over them. But the secondary, after the first function here with this ascending triangle, okay, I want to talk about another feature that I found tonight, and this one I like. This one I like a lot. I want to really go over this, and I hope you guys put this on your charts because it's really a dynamic expression of the technicals, what our expectations are, and kind of where we find ourselves. Let me look at this, kind of how we hone, how we refine our technical approach, what it is that we strive to gain out of it, etc. What are the expectations of the patterns, how they can overperform, how they can complement each other, how they can contradict each other, and essentially how all of that works together for profit, okay? How it works together for you gaining an edge on the market. Some of that entails our, I'd say, reframing prior technicals to the current position, right? In terms of putting them into play, the prior technicals, formulating them to the extent that we can gain an understanding of kind of where we're at right now, what the expectations, how that may build into market for people who trade quite a bit, okay? Now, if you trade a lot, I always say this, if you trade a lot, some of you may not trade a lot. Maybe you're learning, maybe you're getting involved in crypto. Maybe it's a new thing for you. Maybe you don't even have an exchange yet. Maybe you started on crypto.com and you're like, all I have is a button, man. I have a button and I have a price it gives me, and that's it. Maybe you don't have limit orders. Maybe you don't have the sophistication of what all comes with the market, and maybe you want to learn. If you want to learn, that's why we're here. What's up, guy or guys that are in that position, okay? That's why we're here. We can help you with all that stuff. We have a lot of great guys in the back, top traders, great TA guys who've been around. Some have been around Bitcoin for a while. Angel's been around since $7.79, invested in Bitcoin. One of the premier investors in Bitcoin, top shelf and top literal of the channel. And shout out to him with nothing but love, brother. And just want to say that that's part of the reason that we are here. Why we are VIP is to develop our trade game, to develop additional people who want to be successful in crypto, and to try in 2022 and accomplish in 2022 a real building of sorts of our own presence in the crypto market. And just in our lives with our group, et cetera, just everything about it, we want it to be hugely successful. So we've had some hugely successful people. Aside from Angel, he's first and foremost. I'm looking at Josh at the bottom right, $1 million champ 2021. He earned $1 million, gave the credit in terms of, said, London, I heard everything, I applied everything, and, that's how it got done in terms of the $1 million. So Josh, shout out to you. Big, just kind of a big reconfirmation of what we're doing. So if you are new, or if you've already been around for a while, say this before I get into this, and you guys see what I'm getting into in the technicals. It's just nice, because where are we right now? We are, if you'll remember, what was this frustrating kind of event we went through here? And maybe it makes sense now. Maybe we reframe it a bit, but a rising wedge, right? It's a rising wedge. And yeah, that's got a bearish overtone. I bring it up now because the catch on the underpinning of I'd say the underlying support, we'll get involved in that with the actual candle wicks. But this could drag a bit on the market, just a touch. Okay, this right here, this ascending wedge. It's a bearish feature. Hey there, I appreciate that, William Carter. We appreciate that very much, and we hope that you that if you can and would like to up your game, that's why we're here. We have VIP level of membership in the back, etc. And I have to offer this to you is top level of membership. We go through charts all the time. It is not. We're honestly trying to be of service to the community. We want you involved if you want to be involved, etc., etc. Look at some of the charts that Luke has thrown up. He caught this ascending triangle, which didn't perform to the upside except to that top level resistance. But yes, we have a great group of guys. All right, we love technical analysis. We love trading. Tough group, tough as nails, some of them. So as we would talk about, thanks for that shout out and the thumb up. Thank you, William. Appreciate that. That means a lot as well. Just some interaction. A lot of people will watch the stream tomorrow, etc. As we discuss the parameters, kind of the framework, what we're looking at right now. Last night we were looking at this ascending this ascending portion here towards this line of resistance, which had formulated on the lower time frames into a nice, let's just look at this, a real nice, we were just hoping for this. It just didn't. Bulls didn't want it. What do we say? And we'll talk about some of the technicals that are kind of surrounding that issue. But it was like a 1-2-3 punch that needed to get up and out over that macro inverse head and shoulders. We talked about that. It would have started off with one move. Boom. Now the dominoes could have and should have fallen in that direction with probabilities if we had completed this first move. We discussed kind of that sequence of events that needed to occur. Didn't occur, so that flag failed. So you're always going to be presented with the opportunity to trade or not, to enter a trade or not, to exit a trade or not. This was an instance where the trade was not indicated to the upside, and we will talk about that real briefly in terms of the bull flag. What is the entry? Typically, what is indicated for entry is a move to the upside. Okay, we were looking at evaluating, building a pattern. We have a channel formation, and this stream looks best on a live. On a live, okay, not a replay, live. It looks best live, okay, live. Believe it or not, it looks best live and on a big screen TV. Both of those will help you in your trade game. Not rewatch this, rewatch that live and on a big screen TV. Please listen, okay. In terms of this move to the upside, this channel framework to the downside, what is indicated for the traders in terms of entry is a breakout of this resistance on a bull flag. Bull flag, move to the upside, a cut, a downward sloping channel to the downside, right? We have support, we have resistance, support along the bottom, resistance across the top, support. What is holding the price up? Resistance, what the price cannot get up and above and beyond. Then we need to break out. We need to break out of this resistance up and over the resistance. Then we need to reconfirm across here, guys. We need to reconfirm along the prior resistance with a hit, boom. And as soon as we start getting that momentum, bam, 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 that is the time for entry into the bull flag. Classic technical analysis in terms of application to your trade game. You want that momentum trade is indicated. Some people will park it in a bull flag. I tell you, they'll park it in a bull flag because it's a bullish expression, and they will set a stop loss below. That's kind of the option that some people will take, and it's up to you. You will develop your own trade game. I like screaming high velocity price action to the upside. That's how I prefer to trade. I like bull flags that will carry $1 million+ in them and just print cash. That's what I like. That is how I like to trade. That is a nice bull flag, for instance, like this, and one that really gets up, parks it, gives us this sort of a confirmation along prior resistance, 3 hits, to confirm it. Let me just do this right here, okay? Along the prior resistance, okay? Then gets up and really you see a massive market potential and move where it's just screaming to the upside. Those are the types of trades that I personally love, okay? That's why I trade. I like those types of trades, the ones that grind along and take a long time and keep us in trades for 3 months and 6 months or 2 months. Guys, day trading, the whole idea of day trading is that the idea came from, you guys know this, day trading, okay, came from the notion that people would open up their trades and they would close them at the end of the day. Okay, so we have day traders here. We just do. As you look at and I understand, some of these trades you have to stay in for a longer period of time, but your hands get tightly wound on some of this stuff and you're not able to release it. So always reframe yourself to what day trading is. Day trading is, and you'll have your alpha, maybe your positions that you carry with you. Yeah, you will. But in terms of ability to let go, to set a stop loss, remember what a day trader is. A day trader, okay? And now it's completely different if you're looking at an upside target, guys. If you're looking at an inverse head and shoulders with the left shoulder of the head and the right shoulder, okay? If you're looking at a pattern formation like this, you're going to say, okay, we have a target to the upside. Let's say we have a target to the upside based upon the head to the neckline, bam, okay? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You may say, okay, great. This is a pattern trade. I'm going to trade it. this is my target here. It may take 3-4 days to get to the target. That's fine. That's different than like a day trade. Always being ready to hit the button is the idea, right? Now, you can schedule in your stop losses. You can play this just watching the price action and kind of get a feel of it. Some of you may be very good at determining, well, I think we're at a top. You may be very good at shorting. Some of you may be very good at grabbing very low prices. You may be good at, well, the price is dipping down, I'm going to charge into it right now. Some of that is maybe a talent kind of built in. Some of it can be acquired. Some of it you want to definitely mix, I would hope, all of it with your technicals, okay, in terms of your pricing targets, low target here of the market of anyone that we know, guys. So that's nice in terms of the expression there that we were able to bring, I'd say the opportunity we were able to bring all of you. And we just want to shout out to Angel, $58,000 contributor. And yeah, Angel, it's a big deal when you're around because you're letting us know that you're doing well. We like the VIP to be doing well, to be trading and making money. $58,000 it's a small amount of money. It is a small amount of money. I'm going to go ahead and say that, okay? It may look real big, impressive on the screen there. I don't like that small amount of money necessarily next to him. Angel, he's a big, heavy-handed trader, and I would like to, say that I do believe that his trade game has really skyrocketed in the last 6+ months, and I'm excited to be a part of that. So, yeah, I don't like him to think of $68,000 as a big amount of money. Or is it $58,000? $58,000 to be whatever that figure there to be a big amount of money. That's tomorrow's lunch. Then what's for dinner? Period. Okay, when you talk about big hands, that's tomorrow's lunch. What's for dinner? Yeah, just that's what that is. But it is a good sign to the community, yeah, Angel, that you're plugged in, you're doing well, you're booking your trades, and I know you are. But always ready to hit the button. 2 times you got to hit the button. You got to set your orders, okay, to enter, to buy, and to exit, to sell. If you're on a short or a long, the terminology will change a bit, right? So as we're going to talk about and reframe it, this kind of the secondary, and I just wanted to give a little bit of a talk on Thursday night, right? Just a little bit of a touch up, brush up in terms of where we're at in terms of the overall VIP, what we're looking forward to in 2022, etc. Just never backing down, like Angel likes to say, no fear zone, etc. And I mention him a lot because he and I chat a lot. We spend a lot of time together in terms of communications, etc. So you're not going to get me without getting him. That's just the way it rolls, guys. That's the bottom line. And hopefully he can say the same in some regards. I would hope so. So as we would look at this, as we detail out this prior formation, it was a rising wedge, wasn't it? So in addition to this specific on the candle wicks on this specific, and let's just go here, and I can confirm that some people did sell out at the top, okay, near the top, not at the exact top, but near the top. And I'll get some more confirmation on that. But I know that some people needed to take profits, wanted to take profits, booked a trade. That's the right idea in terms of that. Some of you guys may have gotten stopped out towards the top. As we talk about the ascending triangle, the top level of resistance, retesting this level of resistance, prior resistance along the top here as support instead of the resistance, right, as support is an expected move. The notion, or let's say just the fact here, that we are right along, and let's just say if we get into the candles here, this really becomes a beautiful thing. Please pay attention. Please look at your charts on the, let's say, the 30-minute. Please go to the 30-minute if you can and just look at where we're at right now. Because I did the quick video and I said, okay, maybe this is essentially what we're looking at in terms of the expression. I think it was a 38.2, probably a 38.2. And we're going to be a little bit cut short on that 38.2 across the top, to tell you the truth. We're going to have to go to a little bit of a hybrid. The top line gives it to us, so we're going to have to go a little bit of a hybrid. The top line, if you go to the expression on the candle wicks, the top line expression of these two hits around 38,882, right to that 39,250 of the resistance are literally where we came into contact in terms of, and it'll be differentiated between the lines and the candles. You'll be able to play with this on different time frames and see kind of where we hit and where we're at right now. But there, I guess there's two ways of looking at things. One way would be the following, in terms of explaining negative price action. Well, there was an excess amount of of sell orders that came through the market, right? There was an excess amount of people that sold, came through the market. The other would be maybe there was a lack of demand. You could say a lack of demand or even a spread demand at a lower level. This would be an instance where we have the candle wicks aligning a specific level of prior resistance. And I've said to everybody all day long that would listen, and I know you guys listen a lot. I listen to you too. Quite a lot I listen to you guys. So in terms of this specific prior resistance here, we have, bam, it's just direct on contact, guys. I can align this specifically on a different time frame. I may get a different answer. I hope I don't. But if you'll really detail this prior resistance out, I'd just like you to do that so that you can see the actual level that we've come down to. All right, that's a big deal because orders were stacked at that level. I just know that they were. Show me a prior resistance and I'll show you some orders. I just will to reconfirm it as support or not. People love to pick up on prior resistance. They just do. So on the 30-minute, that I'd say the wedge formation, and we gave it credit along the way we just did in terms of the expression of it as an ascending triangle. Right? We cut this sideways because of this mid-interval hit here, a longer resistance. We decided to kind of cut this and chop this sideways. Let's just go to the hourly real quickly. And we gave it credit. It really gave credit back to the market. Let's just look at this. But you had this expression, and you guys, I know that if you're working on the technicals on your own end, you're seeing exactly where we're at. But the good thing is this: there was enough bullish sentiment in the market. And I really like this specific play in terms of defining this zone, both on the wicks and on the, if you go into the different let's go to the hourly, for instance, you can explore this pattern quite a bit. On the hourly, for instance, you can get to where we are literally on the other side of this. Becomes time frame determinative in terms of the expression that it's going to give the market. It's just very interesting. Line of support on the hourly, line of resistance. You see we're below on the hourly lines. We are below this indicated rising wedge. That has implications. Traders will see that a certain way. The messages that are being sent right now to the traders, it's a phenomenal deal. It's a nice moment for Bitcoin in terms of where we are relative to this specific ascending wedge, previous ascending wedge, which is a bearish feature, okay? But to the extent that it has, I'd say, combined there with the notion that we discussed in relative detail just now, that we had so well completed the notion of the ascending triangle to the extent that it was interpreted. It was left for interpretation. If you guys held back on your trades, like where there's too many mixed signals in the market, hey, that's fine. Welcome to 2022. Maybe get used to it. This is not the same old market that we have been accustomed to in terms of, more simple technicals, etc. This is a very developed market. We have, we have the understanding that there are trade desks and corner offices and divisions of JP Morgan or BlackRock, etc., involved in this. This market feels like it's been stepped up. So I'm not regretful over that whatsoever, particularly while we get to claim this lower line target as ours. So that's nice to see it stepping up technically to offer not mixed messages, but a challenge to the traders. We're always ready for that. We don't want a soft market. We don't want an underdeveloped kind of cookie cutter, overly nice market. We want to be challenged in what we do. So the notion, I'm going to say, on the candle wicks of the ascending triangle, with the understanding that we're at that line of resistance right now on those candle wicks. So it's wonderfully complex. If you guys pay attention to the technicals, this is a wonderfully complex argument, all right, say discussion, wherein you can see the purpose of the ascending wedge fulfilled on various time frames, okay? And you'll be able to work with this right now. The easy save of all of this is the Fibonacci targets. It's like, hello, get us back to square one, London. Where are we at here? Fibonacci targets. Boom. Just go low to high, real simple on the hourly, right? That's as much as we can plug through. Now, the patterns are used to give us a direction, to give us something to look at with an expectation, some degree of a probability. It will it kind of brings all of the traders along the same journey with the same expectations. Like, okay, we're all going that way, and everyone can point that way, right? Irrespective of whether or not the market will satisfy that need for the direction in terms of the expectation. That's another issue, right? Will it disappoint us? Will it conform to our expectations, etc.? But that's what the patterning is good for. So when we explore the patterns, that's the common understanding, or the elevated, the educated. I'd say the educated, not going to school, but an educated trader approach in terms of kind of the expectations of the market and what we're looking at in kind of a combined fashions, right? So let's look at this specific. I don't want to do this on the NC. I'm going to hunt for a better time frame to get the expression that I want. And when I do that, I catch myself. Okay, I was just on the hourly. I want to go to a different time frame because I don't like what the hourly tells me. What does that tell you? It tells me that there are problems with the pattern. Okay, the hourly is going to give us an expression of more of I'd say an open, let's see, an open diagonal here, some broadening diagonal. If I'm hunting, and I say broadening because between the resistance along the top and the support line across the bottom, yes, we've picked up on that on the hourly, okay, with a bit of a pour through on the downside, okay? So the lines here in terms of this pickup are also solid on the hourly. In addition to that wedge, a lot more detailed on that pickup on the candle wicks. This is a more frameworked, I'd say a basic, very solidly frameworked pickup here with a bit of variation. So if we were to go to the 30-minute, for instance, on the 30-minute, again, conflicting signals, right? On the 30-minute, excuse me. This always happens when I stream late. For some reason, I lose my voice a little bit. Excuse me. As we would look at the support, we are outside of the resistance line here. Okay, this could have some implications. Okay, were this specific range here, this channel formation here to the upside, were it a bit more developed, okay, in terms of the number of hits along the line of support and resistance, we would have let me say this, the more developed that this channel line here is, the greater the expectation that we would fall out of this channel if it were breached the width or the measurement of the channel. Okay, this is a big deal to discuss right now. Okay, because the move to 37,400 and 420 is being contemplated on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, and traders are right now deciding whether or not. And there's so many patterns to look at right now, guys. Thank God for the Fibonacci's. This is probably going to be the this just may be the title of this talk is Thank God for the Fibonacci's, because we have, in addition to the rising wedge, the ascending triangle, to the micro bull flag that failed, to the macro bull flag we're trying to put together now, we have so many patterns or different time frames that are yielding different interpretations right now that honestly, it is going to be probably the best thing to say is that we're going to need a little bit more time to let the price pattern develop. With that understanding, nothing replaces keeping your eye on your trades. And a lot of people want to keep an eye on the market. I tell them, you don't need to keep an eye on the market. You need to keep an eye on your trades, right? You need to keep an eye on your trades. Don't watch the market. Watch your trades. Even if it's a small trade. Get into a small trade, watch the trade. Yeah, I mean a very small trade. You know, watch it with the technicals in place. Are you the number one thing, guys, I have to say is getting in with a platform that allows you to do the TA while you're in your trade on your trading platform, that it has TradingView built in. Crucial. Don't trade on something with a real if you're trading on something that looks like this, if you're trading on something that looks like, let's just go to let's say TradingView, and if you're trading and the chart that you're getting and you're trading on looks like that, and you can't do the technicals and you can't draw your patterns on your platform, I'm really going to suggest that you up your game in 2022 and get into a different trading platform. Okay, This looks nice, doesn't it? On Atom right now, Cosmos. Because on this, it looks like you have an ascending triangle just solidly in the frameworks now, doesn't it? If we were to go into the technicals, let's go into the technicals. Let's see. That's Atom. Let's look at Cosmos. Incredible, huh? Price action. Brought Cosmos in before this hit, 17%. Second hit at the same level, 25%. Another third hit at the same level, 17%. 17%, 25%, and 17% on Cosmos. I brought it for the price action to the VIP. Okay? Impressive. Okay? You had to catch it quickly. I gave a quick diagnostic on that in terms of the level that it was at. And it kind of looked like, hey, we were at a golden pocket. Quote unquote. So, in terms of that, if you're booking trades, I'm excited. That's a 1-2-3 punch for 17%, 25%, 17%. Maybe not your favorite types of trades. Maybe you're not your favorite coin to trade. I get that. I understand that fully. Is this showing through in terms of an ascending triangle? Looks like we're trying to formulate an ascending triangle. Would love this to hold. It is showing who has a hot hand around here in terms of who booked a trade. I brought it. Who booked a 17%, a 25%, a 17%. You have had a flat line of support the entirety of the time. You could have booked either 17, 25, or 17. One of the three. Very, very approachable. Very, very digestibly kind of textbook. I'm not going to say simple or easy. Nothing in the market simple or easy. But that's a good week right there. That's a good few days of your week, right? Or a good 2 weeks, really, in terms of your ability to capture some profits, book some positive trades. Maybe you're attracted to the coins that are more difficult. This has been just cookie cutter. Very easy in terms of the presentation of the coin, like from me to you, boom. The target level, bam, it was right there. The consistent price action, 17%, 25%, 17%. It's just been nice. So if you guys took advantage of that, great. Let's reframe around Cosmos to see if we can get some degree of an ascending triangle really to move up and complete would be the expectation of the buyers right now. This level does need to hold to some degree. We cannot get a swing failure. We can't have a lower low here. That's the crucial thing. And I don't want to say if you're holding, you're not watching this station. You're just not. I know you're not, and that's okay, because I hope you guys are having fun at another station where they hold. That store went out of business around here. We opened up that store, it went out of business. I just joke and say that all the time. Back to Bitcoin. Looks like we have on the lower time frame. So a lot of different patterns are in play. Expectation of return to the preceding ascending triangle. Resistance on the map. Okay, the fact that it's differentiated on the candles, okay, from actually being an ascending triangle, and it actually does have the expression. It's just what a moment, what an interesting dynamic to trade. We have a bearish expression that's being captured on different time frames that overperform to the upside. We have just a real. A lot of good going on in terms of the technicals, a real challenging technical environment. I really appreciate that fact. It's not simple. We have a, classic standard double top here that refused to give up and bam to the upside. That's a nice move for a market that's trying to, and we did have, both the bearish feature here over this critical line of prior support, right? So, the notion that we had a bull flag here last night and we're streaming about it, it's just been exciting price action. It's been nice to see people pick up that I know and pick up at the lower price target and make some good money with heavy entries. That's nice. That's reconfirming for what we're trying to put together for 2022. So this potential move to the downside, we've broken through this channel formation. A channel move to the downside, breaking a channel, a range essentially. What's the expectation of breaking that range? Essentially, it's the same amplitude of the framework of that channel. Boom, breaking to the downside. Just the measured move, the amplitude, the height of that channel moving to the downside. Bam, would park you right on your golden pocket. Okay, so you need to be prepared in terms of your trade game to experience the price at the golden pocket at that 37,420. Okay, You just need to be prepared for that, and that's on the hourly. Those are the time frames. Those are the pardon me, not the time frames. Those are the what's the time frame of though that the drawing of the Fibonacci on that hourly time frame. Okay, and you can. As Angel told me, he says, you experiment with your own. Sounds like it came straight out of New York Institute of Finance. I like that. Anything you tell me that sounds like it came out of the New York Institute of Finance, I know something good going on. Period. But yeah, experiment with your time frames. See which one you like. Right? You'll become comfortable with one. You can use any time frame that you like. Okay, and as long as it's comfortable for you. What I'll say is you need to cross-reference your time frames a bit. Okay. You need to cross-reference your time frames a bit. On Bitcoin, you need to cross-reference them a lot, a whole lot. You need to understand that there's groups of people that are using the 5 minute, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, or the 4 hour. They're using the daily or the weekly or the 1 minute or the 15 second. Okay, and you need to know and start gauging the price action and the pattern behavior on each and every one of those, and make sure they're all consistent. And if you could do that, you're beating the market. You're achieving alpha. New York Institute of Finance won't teach you much about alpha. It's kind of another deal altogether. So, in terms of a lot of guys that are trained at New York Institute of Finance do wind up, finding out about alpha, etc. Once they get their desk. So, in terms of the pattern formation here, this channel formation, possibility for a bull flag still. Let's see here, because that would just be beautiful if Bitcoin wants to just wash out some retail and kick back to the upside. A little bit of talk about regulation with the president, etc. Some other issues ongoing. FBI just I think threw their hat in more than the ring. They said they own the ring. I think if they want it. That's interesting in terms of FBI unit for cryptocurrency. Exciting to see that. Very excited to see that. Don't want crypto to have a bad name at all, and to the extent that it ever might, because there are people or things that need to get cleaned up. It's not about decentralization versus my power versus their power. It's not about that. If it needs to be cleaned up, if any aspect of it needs to be cleaned up, clean it up. We do not want to be around anything that still needs to be cleaned up. So let's clean it up. You guys need to clean it up out there in terms of who may ever be listening. We encourage you to clean it up. Like yesterday, please. We do not want to be around anything that needs to be cleaned up. So let's get at that in terms of just some encouragement for you guys. I don't know. I don't know if we can help. We'll watch our language on the show. How about that? If we can help with that or something along those lines, I will assure you that no one here is ever encouraged to trade on an illegal exchange. We kick people out of VIP for trading on any kind of an illegal exchange. It's just not worth it. I tell people it's not worth it. It's like you want to, sleep well at night, et cetera. Like, why you want to go trade on an illegal exchange if it's not permitted in the United States of America? Like, why you want to push, good into bad is the bottom line. You want to go push your good money into something that's bad. And like on the surface says you're not allowed to do it. It's not licensed. It's illegal, right? Just don't push your good money into bad, whatever it is. You work hard for your money. Don't do that. It just makes sense. And I'm not affiliated with any of those law enforcements, etc. But just don't do it. It's just stupid. It's like playing Russian roulette with, maybe it's not bad enough. I don't know. It's there are good exchanges. There are ways to trade, and maybe it's not as easy to make good money on good exchanges. Maybe it's not, because I know people who've made a lot of money on illegal exchanges. I just do. Period. Maybe it's not as easy to make good money on good exchanges. Well, we'll take the I'll take the good fight. I'll try and still beat the market. I know I can on a good exchange. Over one of the a little bit easier to make money on a bad exchange. Kind of sounds weird, huh? You think it'd be a little weird? What do you guys think? VIP, huh? You think it'd be a little weird that there'd be some things you aren't supposed to do that are maybe a little easier to make money at, huh? Huh? That sounds like we've heard that story before, huh? It's kind of the easy way, huh? Sometimes the right way isn't the easy way. That's cool. That's what we're used to. That's life, right? So just a little bit of commentary on the overall on the overall system as it's being put together, as the regulation comes to the framework, etc. Yeah, if the rules need to be there, I mean, we don't, it's no fun to, we like to go outside and play like anybody. Like, kiddo wants to go outside and play. Hey, we want to go outside and play, but if there's wrong guys on the field or anything like that, we don't need to go out there. We'll trust it all gets cleaned up the way it needs to. It'll be interesting to see what all happens. Maybe there'll be some cool cases or something. Maybe they'll make a movie or something out of some of this stuff. Who knows? So, yeah, but neither here nor there. But that's interesting. The FBI did formulate that. I had a little bit of a discussion last night with a former VIP, et cetera, that I kicked out because he had an illegal exchange. He was trading on an illegal exchange. I'm like, get out of here. And last night I let him have it, just verbally. I'm like, get out of here. Like, quit messing up our group, And I said that last night. The news did hit. You guys can confirm that for me. It'd be great if you want to. But that FBI has their own team. Whether they be after something like that or not, I don't know. It's not my position to say. But I'm sure not going to condone people trading on illegal exchanges. And maybe if you're in another country, it doesn't even apply to you. But here in the U.S., we're not supposed to use he was on KuCoin. And he's like, it's not illegal. It's not a problem. It's not anything. I can do it if I want to. And I'm like the kid. I'm like, dude, and I have to send him the cutout, the actual, statement where it says it's not licensed to be used in the United States of America. I'm like, what else do I have to do? And then he's like, when I sent that to him, and he's like, oh yeah, well, it does say that. And it's like, it is tempting to whatever, break the law and do it. I'm like, whatever, dude, just go, just get. So he wants to come back around here and stink the place up. And I'm like, go do your own business, man. Because if you're doing trading right, you should be able to do it on any exchange. And you should be able to beat the market and work through the issues. If there's less liquidity, more liquidity. The order book's a little stout or not, right? If you understand the market, you're up to that challenge. There may be a reason that something else is easier. And you may not like the reason why. Huh? There may be a reason why it's easier. But nothing worthwhile is easy. You guys know that. Nothing worthwhile is easy. So always strive. That's where we stand as a group, and I'm just going to state that as an absolute fact where we've always stood in terms of the group, in terms of just kind of, what would you say, just being above repute on those issues, because it's crypto. Those issues are everywhere. But I just wanted to take some time to talk about that. They are everywhere. And when we encounter them, we either kick them out or we fix them quickly. We just immediately, it's time to get this boat off the dock in tip-top shape. Is kind of the within reg and spec as much as we can, without being I don't know, guys. You can take the rest of that conversation in line with everything we've done, which has been good. So move to the upside. If we could handle a recapture here on this, and this is where I left and it's good that we talk about some of this stuff, guys. It's good to kind of stream about it and as a group have these discussions, because I have them all the time with any individual who brings it up. Like, hey, it's just, there are different dogs in the hunt right now, and those dogs have got some teeth, and they're, it's not just what you want to do. You do what you want to do. I'm going to do what's right in the space. So in terms of move to the upside, line of resistance, 2 hits. Okay, hit, support, hit. We'd like to recapture this. There's a chance that we can still recapture. In the context of that, I did bring up this rising wedge. My opinion as a trader right now is that this would be a surprise move back up into the channel. I'm ready for a surprise. Okay, I'm ready to trade with the notion of there being a surprise. You can't be pleasantly surprised if you don't have a position at all. Are you maxed out in your position? Did you take any profit? Have you, potentially, if I've said, 3-4 times that you could literally cash out, get your principal back and just let the profits ride? That'd be a great thing to let your profits ride. Have your principal stacked up at lower levels. That'd be a great move to let your profits ride and around and be pleasantly surprised. Hey, look what happened, right? And let's dig into maybe another time frame. Let's see who's here. Anybody in the chats? Okie dokie. Let's see what we got. With the understanding that we do have a solidly framed 38.2 here, which did frustrate along the 23.6. You guys see the 23.6 level here? We did frustrate along that. Look at that. Poured, curved, and around. That was a nice feature at this level. And if you'll remember how long we spent at this level in terms of giving us that pattern framework to trade 3 days, 11 hours at that level. Here, 2 days, 8 hours. We would appreciate the opportunity, were it to give it to us, a little bit of time at this level to start formulating something beyond. Let's just dig into the, let's dig in, aside from the pattern formations, etc., just to kind of dig in to what is the patterning, what's the current patterning. It's just at its incipiency. It's at, I think Luke brought up the notion of a ascending triangle, which has failed. It's tucked back into the triangulation. So that's an expression of weakness as we would look at that. I did not disagree at all with the ascending triangle. Would have been nice to have, we had two hits along the resistance to support. Really, you could have said down to support again. So I'd say that that's a tough call. I don't disagree with your determination there in terms of that, Luke, the ascending triangle. That was a good call. It sure took off. Would have bit you pretty hard right into it would have stung a little bit right into that 100 on the 5-minute time frame. That 100 and the 200 are going to be key features to get up and above. As we day trade this or look for smaller micro trades, I think the 5-minute is a good time frame to stay on and to hone into in terms of letting price develop, in terms of allowing us to get into some of these, some of the different framed, let's see this, into some of the differently framed, I'd say, just patterns, whether or not it be another fan reversal, whether or not it be an ascending triangle. The ascending triangle failed, unfortunately. So within that context, we're going to be looking at some accompanying either complementary or contradictory patterns that we can identify and trade. That is the goal, is to trade. So in the context, let's get out of this line here. We got the 100 and the 200. Just a really technical group here, highly technical. It's great to have both. It's great to be highly technical and have strong hands in the market, the ability to power in. That is what every trader, I don't know, those are, consistency and discipline, yes. Accompanying skill set, highly, trained in terms of technical development and application, to the trades, in terms of like also having those heavy hands, ability just to hammer into the market. It's just, that's why we trade, And at the end of the day, when people say, well, why are we here? What are we doing? What will 2022 be like? It's going to be to have the technical application, development, etc., and to hammer into trades. It's just going to happen that way. And that's the only reason to be around in the space, is to have the technical prowess to be able to apply it with trades. And if you can't do that, there's a lot of things to be able to do, right? There's a lot of things you get involved in that you can either buy and hold, or you can, if you're not going to develop the technical portion of your game, you're always going to be deficient in that. And that's something that you'll never be able to do on your own. And I just tell you, 99% of the people in the space that want to sell you a technical are selling you what you want to hear. That's what they're selling you, and you're agreeing to the rest. All right, you're just going to, as long as you hear those few buzzwords, then, yes, those are the right technicals. Not here, guys. Not here. That's not what we do. We present the technicals as objectively as possible. We don't try to be bears to bulls and bulls to bears. We don't try and run contradictory, counter technicals. We're not, or accommodating technicals. We're always trying to find the proper technicals to be able to explain what is going on. If you did miss a technical, well, what can you learn from the technical that you missed? We're reviewing something that got past us briefly. I mean, some things get past us because we sleep, right? So when we reframe technicals and put them back on the board, what do we learn about what just happened? How do we incorporate what's going on right now? How do we project into what is about to occur? So here we would be looking at a symmetrical triangulation. I think that's a fair assessment right now, with a kick in along the top, a little loop, resistance, support, resistance, support. I'd be a little bit cautious about playing a rebound in line with either a move to the upside or downside until I got a little bit more of a pattern development along the bottom. I'd be looking at something along the lines of a fan, okay, some sort of a reversal feature that would want to express itself a bit more, okay, and just leave open the opportunity for it to not immediately just, I'd say, catapult to the upside, right? Getting over this 200 would be important. That's the immediate concern of the market, is not using the 100 right here as resistance. Okay, we've already done that one time right here when we tried to break through that ascending triangle, ascending line of support. Flat line of resistance was there. Flat line of resistance, ascending support. Boom, right into that 100. So we are close there too again. Okay, after the 100, we've got the 200 on top. Watch that on your trades. The rest of the market is going to be watching it right now. Those are the two key focal indicators. Right now we're on the 5-minute because the time, because of the I'd say the price action is that compressed right now. So I wanted to bring you guys just the basic framework of where we're at. We got a symmetrical right here. Like the flag yesterday, the symmetrical does not have to complete. Technically, I'm going to tell you technically, although it's pushing to the upside a little bit, technically a symmetrical triangle, the coil, can operate as a reversal to the upside, can also be a continuation pattern. Technically, it is, based on probabilities, a continuation pattern to the downside. We are at the 23.6. We are at a Fibonacci level. I would expect, I would hope that it would hit a bit, right? The 23.6 previously did hit at this level quite a bit. Quite a nice hit there. So, and if we do take this into context in terms of that top side hit here on the hourly, etc., if we do put it into context in terms of this Fibonacci hit, and now we're just back to the second level, this secondary level of Fibonacci, it kind of makes things a bit more digestible, doesn't it? In terms of this original hit down to the first level of Fibonacci, down to the second level. Are you prepared for the third and the fourth and the fifth level? Just are you? Because if you're not, other people in the market are. So there's no reason not to be, okay? I just tell you that. As a matter of fact, as you look at your pricing targets, never be overexposed at any higher price, ever. Don't be all leveraged into one trade, okay? Just maybe have a position right now. If you'd like to be pleasantly surprised, that's nice. Have a position to work with. Be prepared to compound down at lower levels. Increase your exposure if you want to book a trade, if that's your goal. If you just want to trade pattern breakouts, that's fine. You can be patient here, and you can wait for a bull flag to either manifest itself or not. It's going to be a little dicey if you're going to play a breakdown through this channel to the downside because you have some contraindications on different time frames. So I'd be a little bit patient right now. Wanted to come to you with this notion in terms of the, in terms of that ascending wedge. Just very interesting that we have picked up back right along, just real strong in terms of buyers stepping in along this prior level of support, just there under, depending upon which, specifically guys, which time frame you're on. So it's a good lesson in terms of always being prepared to use those candle wicks, which will cut through the time frames. Candle wicks will cut through all the time frame. Okay, the 1 minute to 30 minutes to 5 minutes, it will cut through, will give you that maximum exposed level of support and resistance, essentially the maximum of where the price went to. So that is what I wanted to bring to you. We're trying to hold on to this channel formation to the top. The market would like to see that. Bulls would love to see that. Nice surprise to the upside would be good. Some sort of a hit along the 23.6 would be nice. Let's generate some price action here in addition to that symmetrical triangle if we can. To the extent that we cannot, I think buyers right now, we're looking at this specific bearish pattern right here. Okay, I know I'd like a little bit cheaper Bitcoin right now. I don't know if it'll give it to me. I'd like Bitcoin a little bit cheaper right now. Just me personally, okay? That's just me. So you look at the market, you determine what you guys would like, and with that, we will see you in the back guys in the restricted zone VIP. If you're not a member, guys, join VIP. We have a great group in the back. And this is London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. Shout out to all the VIP subscribers. We appreciate you being here. And if you're watching this tomorrow, we appreciate you going over the technicals with us. It's a pleasure to have you guys learning TA or refining your TA, whether or not you're already a professional trader. If you're working with a big bank and you're just tuning in to see what you can figure out, hey, with us, that's great. We appreciate having you guys. And this is London with Crypto Kingdom. You guys have a good night and great start to your weekend.